Hey, so I recently rewatched the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films a few months ago, back when they re-released the director's cut of Spider-Man 2 on the big screen, which that was cool to see for the first time on a big screen, so that was awesome. And yeah, I've been rewatching them in conjunction with the rest of the MCU because, for No Way Home, of their importance later on and everything. So yeah, and as I've been like rewatching these films, I've been like taking down notes in a book for like timeline information because, I'm obsessed with that kind of stuff in these films. And throughout the films, there's a lot of newspapers that pop up, and I'm like, oh, I could probably get some like information off those there. So I actually managed to find a lot of newspapers online on different websites, and I was able to read a bunch of them. And like, they were even sold like over the years, which I'm like, that'd be actually pretty cool to actually own one of those like prop newspapers from the films. Like these two in particular would be actually pretty cool to have. So I'm reading them, and there's not much to them really because they're not meant to be read by the viewer. They're just there to like flash on screen quickly to give like the main article headline and everything. They're not meant to be read. They're just meant to be kind of like give the illusion that like they're fully like written newspapers and everything. So a lot of them have like a lot of repeat stuff in them. Like one I found about like the whole like Times Square and Thanksgiving like attack like has a lot of repeats about how the Oscorp people were staging a big comeback, this Green Freak attack, and Spider-Man saved a couple of lives and everything. Like it repeats that a lot in that one paper particularly. But there's one paper I found that actually has a lot of actual like information and lore written on it about this universe and everything. So it's right after the scene when Peter tests his web shooters in his bedroom, and it cuts to Norman at his home where he's reading a newspaper. And when he flips it over, and you have this like whole bunch of like text on there, and I paused it and looked at it, and there's like genuine, like someone actually took the time to write out a bunch of like actual information and lore about the universe, and it's actually really cool. And like again, like I said, it adds a lot of great background details that are just super cool. Like for example, like I said, it talks about how like Norman's wife was an artist, and I saw people on Reddit talk about how if she was an artist, that possibly implies that probably that giant portrait of Norman in the house it was probably painted by her, which that adds a nice little detail about the significance and importance of that portrait, which that's pretty cool. But my favorite bit of info about this is that it actually implies that Norman Osborn has to be at least 10 years older than Willem Dafoe actually was during the movie. Because it says Oscorp was founded in 1966, and Willem Dafoe was born in 1955, so he would have only been 11 years old during that time, so like, I doubt that, so it makes more sense that if Norman was at least 10 years older than that, so born in 1945, so he would have been like 21 when Oscorp started, so that's a bit more plausible to believe, so there's that. Which means that Willem Dafoe, who was 45, 46 when he filmed this movie, was playing someone who was actually 55, 56. Which, in this universe, I don't think that matters that the age and physical appearance doesn't match, because some characters, like, physical appearances don't match their age at all. Like, the teacher in the field trip at the beginning of the film, from what I could find online, he's only 2 years older than Tobey Maguire. 2 years older. Like, he's, like, their age. He's supposed to be their teacher.